Hey everyone, it's Jon Penberthy here. Welcome to this special Facebook advertising training program that is entitled How to Build and Grow Your Business Online with Nothing But Facebook Ads. I'm super excited for this training, and I'd love to know whether you guys are excited too. We literally have hundreds of you piling onto this webinar, and that is very exciting for us to see. Go ahead and do me a favor. Give me a yes in the questions box. Firstly, if you can hear me loud and clear and you can see my screen. Give me a big yes in the questions box that you'll see there on the webinar control panel. Awesome. Tons of yeses coming in. I'm going to do something slightly different here this time, okay? I love interaction. I love making sure we give you guys a good experience on these trainings. I'm actually going to turn my webcam on. So let me go ahead and do that here real quick. All right, so you should be able to see me now. Go ahead and give me a say face. Say F-A-C-E. Say face if you can see my face clearly. And because I'm going to be darting around here, I like to pace, I like to move. So I've got my clicker, and I'm going to be taking you through this awesome presentation. Okay, awesome. People say big face, so I should move back. Jeff says you're gorgeous. I appreciate that, Jeff. I can't see you, but I'm sure you are as well. That's so weird to see so many people typing face in the chat box all at the one time. Oh, John says Brad Pitt is doing a presentation. You guys are flattering me. I greatly appreciate this. I love you guys. Listen, do me one more thing. Just say excited in the questions box. If I haven't even told you what we're going to be covering yet, but just being here, type excited if you are excited for the training that we've got prepared. Okay, awesome. Tons of you saying excited. Jessica broke the rules. You said stoked. I will accept that answer. Awesome. Very cool. Listen, we're actually going to get straight into this. I don't like to take too much time with these introductions. I want to just dive straight into the content and the training. So a couple of house rules, okay? First thing, I speak very fast. You may have picked that up already. I have a lot to cover. I have a lot in my head and a lot that I want to give to you. So make sure that you have a pen and a pad of paper next to you and get ready to take some notes and take fierce notes, because we're going to be going through a lot of this stuff. And we're going to be doing it very fast. You probably can't see me very well because of my glasses. Long story, but these glasses don't have the anti-glare in them, so the lights in my home office here are probably causing a problem. But nonetheless, I thought it would be better for you to at least see me a little bit as opposed to not see me at all. Okay, I like to be more personal and like to kind of show myself and put myself out on this stuff. So get a pen and paper with you ready, and just we're going to give this 30 more seconds to let people roll in here. So while we're waiting, type in the questions box where you are coming in from. I always get so excited to see the variety of people from around the world that join these trainings, and I'm excited to see who we've got here on this one. So, oh man, we've got way too many coming in that I'm going to be able to answer. Jeff from LA, I'm just going to read out where you guys are coming from. LA, Dubai, no, I will. We've got Greg from Wisconsin, we've got Chris from Australia, Chase from Colorado, Dennis from Portugal, Ricky from the UK, Frank from the Netherlands, we've got Christian from Germany, we've got Polina from Los Angeles, we've got Monica from London, we've got Wamski from, oh no, sorry, Colin from Cheshire, we've got Tony from Canada, we've got Justin from United States, we've got Sean from South Africa, we've got Andrew from the USA, we've got USA is a big place, dude. But glad to know you from it. Jason from London. Okay, we've got a bunch here. I can't get to all of you, but I greatly appreciate this. And the final thing I just want to know, just selfishly, before we get into this, I'm looking at my watch because I want to make sure we stick on time here. How many of you have been on a training with me at some point in the past before? Give me a yes if we have interacted on webinars before. Give me a no if this is your first time that you have ever joined a training with myself and my partner Jubril that I'm about to bring out. Just curious. Okay, bunch of yeses, got a bunch of nos. My first time. Okay, oh, yes, no. In cases I'm a virgin to your trainings. That's so funny. Okay, awesome. That's a good mixture. Okay, so that's very interesting. Super helpful, just for me to know what kind of audience we have here and who we've got on the line. So I'm going to get straight into this without further ado. Got my clicker here, and we're getting into this presentation called "How to Build and Grow Your Business Online with Nothing But Facebook Ads." It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to learn a ton. Okay, I typed that in one of my emails. So let's get straight into this thing. Oh no, my clicker's not working. Oh dear, that's not a good start. There we go. Okay, this is a snapshot of some of our successful ads that we have actually run on the Facebook platform. We've been running ads for about 16 months now, going on 2 years. and we've been doing very, very well with them. Okay, myself and my partner, who I'm going to introduce you to a little bit later on in this training. Okay, and so if we zoom in to these results and to these numbers, you're going to be able to see the kind of results that we're getting on our Facebook ads. We're talking about, you see this one up here. This is a screenshot of our interaction. We've got 1.8 million views on this one video, which reached, over 3.5 million people. Okay, we've got another ad over here, which reached 137,000 people. You've got an ad over here that reached 266,000 people. Got another one over here that reached almost 3 million people. So we are very, very aggressive with our Facebook ads, and we're doing very, very well. Okay, we're reaching huge numbers of people. I mean, think about what it would do for your business to reach this many people. Okay, I'm pretty sure you would all agree that you could make some sales if you're able to reach this many people, regardless of what your product was. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be showing you in this very training, is how we've worked up to getting to this point. Okay, and excuse me if I don't look into the lens, because I'm going to spend my time looking at these slides. Okay, so just so you know, and I'm just going to quickly just close this window here, because we are, excuse me, like I said, we're working from the home office. Don't want to disturb the neighbors because I talk super loud. I want to show you that we actually practice what we preach here. Okay, so I've taken some screenshots from the inside of my Facebook advertising account, and you can see that we have actually spent, I've done a search for the lifetime of this account, and we've reached over 11 million people, which is a huge amount of people. But we've spent about 320,000 inside of this account, just on my ads, 320,000 British pounds, which if you do the currency conversion is around about 393,000 US dollars. Okay, and we're spending anywhere from £500 a day up to £2,500 a day. Now I'm sure you would agree we would not be spending that unless we were getting results in return, right? So we must be making a few bob back, and I'll show you what we're doing here. So this is now inside of my merchant account called Stripe. Okay, Stripe is the payment processor that we use to be able to process our sales, of our various products and the things that we're running our Facebook ads to. And so this is our desktop display of Stripe. You can see $1.2 million in there as a result of those ads. And you can see the mobile version of that Stripe page. You can see today was a really good day when I took this screenshot. It's actually 11,500 British pounds just today. I mean, that is the power of Facebook ads, that you can literally go from struggling on the internet to build your business to get into a place where you can actually make $11,500 in a single day mastering this Facebook stuff. Okay, now that 1.2 million in US dollars is about 1.5 million 1.2 million British pounds is about 1.5 million US dollars. Okay, so again, I want to stop just throwing numbers at you, but I'm doing this just to show you that we really are, kicking butt on Facebook. Okay, and I want to show you how you can do it for your business too. So real quick, my results are not typical. I've shown you some big numbers. We're going to continue to show you big numbers. So it's important that you know that your results will vary from mine. Okay, my results aren't typical, but I do promise to share with you what has been working for us, and hopefully you'll learn a thing or two from it. Okay, so who am I? For those of you that said no, you've never been on a training with me before, this is your first interaction with me. A little bit about me. I've been online for 5-6 years now. Okay, I've been building all kinds of businesses. I've done e-commerce. I've had a coaching consulting business. I've sold things on Amazon, on eBay. I've got information. I mean, I run live events. I run coaching groups. I've done a bunch of different stuff on the internet, and I've grown many, many businesses, and it's been a lot of fun along the journey. I speak on stage about 4 or 5 times a year, like this background image that you're seeing, and teaching this stuff, teaching Facebook advertising, teaching online marketing, and I just get such a kick out of it, and I love it. And hopefully you can sense that a little bit, through this webinar. Okay. And one thing I'm just really proud of is that I made my first $1 million online by the age 22. Okay. So again, I hope that doesn't come across as arrogant. It's just something I'm very, very proud of. It was a goal that I set when I was 17 years of age, and I managed to achieve it. And I'm just super proud of that. Okay. So anyway, here's how this whole thing came about with Facebook. Okay. Here's how this whole thing came about. I've been desperate to make Facebook advertising work for the longest time. Okay, here's why I knew I needed to be using Facebook for paid traffic. There have been 1.65 billion active users back in 2016. Okay, 1.1 billion people log onto Facebook daily. And again, I'm taking stats from 2016, right? That's a little while ago now. But 1.1 billion people logging on every single day. There is a huge audience of people on Facebook. In fact, at the time of doing this webinar, I think they've far exceeded 2 billion people now, okay, on the platform. People want to engage on Facebook. So whatever your business is, whatever your product or service is, people actually want to engage on Facebook. They go there to kill time. Okay, so if you can put the right ad in front of the right person, you're going to get engagement on there. Okay, the average time spent per Facebook visit is 20 minutes. Okay, and they've got far more advanced with their targeting. Okay, when Facebook first came out with their advertising platform, it was great, it was fun, you could get some results. But now, I mean, they've just stepped it up, and the ability that we have as advertisers and marketers to market our products and services on Facebook is second to none right now. Okay, and finally, success leaves clues. Okay, every big brand is on Facebook, so we need to be there too. The opportunity on Facebook right now really is unmatched, and the timing couldn't be better. And there's a huge opportunity for the new person like you. You just got to do things the right way, and hopefully that's what you're going to learn a bit about on this webinar. Okay, so anyway, back to my story. How did this all get started for me? Well, I knew I needed to learn Facebook ads. So let me ask you a question. I'm going to come back to the chat box. Can you guess what my next step was? I knew I needed to learn something. I wanted to learn Facebook advertising specifically. Can you guess what my next step was? Let me go ahead, type in the questions box what you think my next step was. Just going to go ahead and see what you guys are writing. Okay, Don says find a mentor. Alex says get a coach. Left says running ads here and there. Shaf says trying different things, learn from someone, learned, you found a mentor. Okay, a bunch of you saying find a mentor. It's exactly what I did actually. In fact, at first I didn't find a mentor. I did my research. I found a few Facebook advertising training programs that people seem to speak very highly of. And I pulled out my credit card and I made my purchase. And then here's what I did. Here's the kicker. I got busy. I actually went through that training. I digested it. I learned it. And then I started to put it into action. So many people buy training programs online and do nothing with it. And I cannot see the sense in that, right? You've got to go through, you've got to implement. That's what I did. After a couple of weeks, I'd gone through all the training and I was ready to set up my first ad. Okay, I followed all the steps. I created the ad. I told Facebook how much I wanted to pay. I told Facebook who I wanted to see my ad, and I made the ad go live. Okay, now I'm telling you, I'm not a morning person, but I couldn't sleep that night. I was so excited, a bit like Jonah Hill here in this little gif, right? I literally couldn't sleep that night. I'm not a morning person, but I got up early the next morning, and Jubril, my business partner, will confirm this. When we travel the world together and go to different events and seminars, I'm normally getting up about 10 or 11. That's just me, okay? My guilty pleasure. But I got up early this morning. I was like, man, I want to see my ads. I want to see the results I've got. I log into my account. Here's what I saw. I spent $100, and the result, drum roll please, was a bunch of sales, 2 leads, and 0 sales, okay? It was very frustrating. But what I had learned from these training programs was to give it time. Okay, give it time, let the averages play out, let the numbers sort themselves out. And so I left the ad running another week. Okay, every day I checked, and every day I was disappointed. And by the end of the week, I had spent over $1,000 for about 10 leads and 0 sales. It was super frustrating. It was super annoying, and I was confused. I don't know if any of you can resonate with me, but if you have been stuck at a point in your business where you need it to grow, you need things like Facebook and YouTube and these different things you're learning to work. And when you go through a training and you know you have followed it step by step and it hasn't worked, it's actually one of the most frustrating things in the world. Okay, it really bothers me. And I needed to humble myself and ask someone for help and coaching, like some of you said in the I got all excited and knocked my headphones out. Like some of you said in the questions box, get a mentor. Okay, I apologize if that was loud for some of you. I needed to humble myself and get a mentor, get some coaching. And this is where I want to introduce actually one of my business partners. His name is Jubril Agoro. He's one of the smartest guys on this planet, and he's someone that you've likely never heard of before. Okay, he's a Facebook advertising expert. He controls hundreds of thousands of dollars worth in ad spend every single month. He's been responsible for over $4 million in revenue, one of the most sought after speakers on Facebook marketing. And behind the scenes, he's actually doing this stuff. Okay, some of these recognized names that you would recognize that he's helped. He trained up Ty Lopez's team on Facebook marketing. One of the biggest names in fitness, Brandon Carter. He trained up his team, okay, on Facebook marketing. And so I went to him and I offered to pay him $10,000 just to take a look at my campaigns. Okay, I know the value of finding the right person to coach me and mentor me and actually give me the results that I need. Funnily enough, he didn't accept it because we were friends and we've been friends for a couple of years. But he agreed and he took a look and he said he'd call me back in an hour. And I was literally waiting by my phone that entire time. I was like, dude, give me the call back. I was just waiting for like an hour. He kept me waiting for a whole bunch of time. Then I got the call. Got the call from Jubril. He was in San Diego at the time. Okay. And he was just laughing down the phone. He probably spent the first, I don't know, 20 seconds of the call just laughing at me down the phone. And I was thinking, okay, this is getting a bit awkward now. And then he explained it and he said, look, I'm not laughing at you. The reason I'm giggling and I'm laughing is because I've looked inside of your ad account and the mistakes that you have made with your Facebook ads that has caused this not to work are so simple to fix. And I see so many other advertisers making those same mistakes that you need to tweak. Okay. And he told me exactly why my ads were not working. Okay. And it was only then that I realized how incomplete all of these training programs had been that I had gone through up until this point. Okay. Now, long story short, with the help and guidance of Jubril, I actually went from losing thousands of dollars on Facebook, trying to get this whole thing to work, trying to promote my business effectively on Facebook, to now spending about $30,000 and returning $100,000 for that 30 every single time. I put 30,000 into Facebook and I receive 100,000 back, you know, based on the sales and the stuff that we're doing for my company. So we're doing some extraordinary numbers. We're generating 300 to 500 leads every single day, sometimes thousands of leads in a day. And at this point right now, since that happened, now I started hounding Jubril. I was like, dude, we have to teach this stuff. No one's doing this stuff properly like this. No one's teaching it. And so again, long story short, a year or two on, and now me and Jubril have partnered up and we now teach Facebook ads together. It's been an exciting journey. I've actually brought Jubril on this very training to help me cover some of this stuff. This is what we're going to be covering today. Secret number one, Jubril is going to come out and show you the behind the scenes of a Facebook ad campaign that is returning, get this, $625 US for every $20 spent. It's in a very unusual niche too. Secret number two, the results after spending $393,000 US on Facebook in the past 16 months. I'm going to show you what's been working for me, what hasn't been working, so you can learn from that. And secret number three, I'm going to show you the hidden treasures behind Facebook ads that has been responsible for multiple six figures in additional income for me for free on top of my ads. Okay, so do me a favor, before I bring Jubril out, go ahead and give me a yes in capital letters, a yes in the questions box if you're excited for these three things. And if you're willing, if we fulfill our part and deliver the goods, are you willing to give us the next hour, the next 60 minutes of your time for us to go through this and really digest this stuff? Okay, give me a yes if you're willing to give us that time. Cathal says, whoop, I'm up all night. Awesome. I'm saying yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes, please. Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Jason says, hell yeah. Awesome. Okay, so without further ado, again, I don't like wasting time. We're going to get straight into this. So, Jubril, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Can you hear me now?
I'm here loud and clear, man. How are you?
I'm good. So I turned the screen on, but the light in my house at this time of night is it's really dark. But if I go into the office, she said it has an echo. But how's everyone doing? I'm so excited to be here, John. It's an honor. So you said it's really echoey right now, right? Is it echoey?
It is a little bit echoey, but that's, you know, we can still hear you.
Okay, cool. 'Cause you can actually see me here in the office. So let's without wasting any more time, we'll get started. I'm just so excited to share with you all.
Do you want to go ahead and take the screen?
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me.
Cool. And I'll turn my webcam off while you do your bit of training. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Oh, I'm excited. I love Jubril's training. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself out and let you take it away, dude. I'm ready to be wowed as well.
Awesome. All right. Sweetness. So if you know anything about me, I will always say content is king. And so one of the biggest mistakes a lot of advertisers make online is not thinking like human beings. And now I know that sounds simple, but when people are on Facebook, they are there to interact with their friends, interact with their family, watch funny viral videos. So you have to understand the kind of mindset people are in. And so what I like to do is create content people love to consume. So when they're seeing the content in their timeline, they're like, oh my God, this is great. They're leaving comments, they're sharing it with friends and family, and it's generally very helpful type of information. And I'm going to explain to you how this will literally just change your whole business and help you separate yourself from most marketers and most other businesses in your space. I would say I do things different than about 98% of other people on Facebook, and we get results that are pretty much extraordinary. And so my slogan is content is king. And the funny thing is, like, the formula is pretty simple. You just have to kind of put in the work. So my number one rule is if you understand your audience, it will take you to the promised land. And I can't say that enough. And so there's a few different ways to navigate on Facebook, right? So you can go from a Facebook ad to then a blog post, and then to whatever it is that you're offering. And this is not a thing that a lot of people do in the industry. They're like, because no one really teaches it. But I successfully, like month in, month out, crank out thousands of dollars every single day, using this simple method. And now there's another method, which is quite popular. It's a Facebook ad to your funnel. That's where you have, you get a name and an email address, and then they go through your funnel and then they see your offer. Or you can do a Facebook ad to your offer. And so since people don't really talk about this is what I'm going to talk about today. But I do want to let you know, I do crank away, with Jon and some of my other partners. And so I just want to share with you here some numbers here. And so you can see here that, I'm just basically, we're walking the walk and talking the talk, right? And so with just one piece of content, this is a long story ad, what we would call. So it's just basically a image with about a 1,500 word text. And people are like, people don't read that. Yes, they do when you do it right. And we've generated with this is people giving name and email with 81,000 leads with just one simple ad. And now this is actually not even updated. Now it's over 100,000 leads with just this one bit. And then here you can see another one. This is actually a video. And then here you can see 44,000 leads, right? And this is in the finance space. So the good thing with Facebook ads, it doesn't matter if you're a coach, if you have a small business, if you're in photography, if you're in finance, if you're in direct sales, if you're in affiliate marketing, you can make Facebook work as long as you have the right content. So, and then here you can see this is just in one of the accounts inside of Fusion Cost. In the last year, 240,000 leads generated. And most people, they're like, wow, when you get a big lead list, the numbers go down for open rates. But here you can see a 35% open rate, kind of crazy. But I want to just get into the training, without wasting any more time. And so I want to show you one specific campaign. And like I said, you can do this in so many different campaigns and so many different niches. And so I'm going to be talking about travel. And so how many of you guys, by a show of hands, how many of you guys like to travel? Give me a number one in the question box if you like to travel. Okay, a lot of people. It says, hell yeah, Jon. Okay, awesome. I'm going to show you a cool example right here. All right? So I want to tell you why not to go directly to an offer. So I just want to paint this picture for you here really quickly. And so this is a credit card offer, right? Where a bank, so this is like Chase Bank, and they have many other banks, and you've probably seen something familiar to this. And so this is how people would do it traditionally. They would have an ad like that, and it would show up in your timeline and say, hey, get this credit card, 50,000 bonus points, right? And so these companies have billion-dollar budgets, and they spend, if not, if they don't spend $1 billion, a year on advertising, they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising because they know what the return is on investment for them. So they're willing to do it. And one of the things that people also do, these companies, they say, hey, if you can actually bring us customers, we will pay you, right? So now, just by a show of hands, like if this ad, for a Chase showed up in your timeline, give me a 1 if you would click it, and then a 2 if you would just kind of skip over it. Okay, So like I'd say 95% of you are saying you would skip over it, right? And so this would be an example. And then after that, it would go to the website saying, hey, sign up for this credit card and get these points. Now, I want to show you something here. So this is the formula option I was talking about, number one, a Facebook ad to a blog post to your offer. So now imagine if this shows up in your timeline. So I would put how I get free flights, no BS. This is a very straightforward method to getting free flights. And I say the majority of the flights I take during the year, I pay for. But there are a few times a year where I get free flights, and I decided I want to share with you in detail how I do it. There's nothing to buy, just everything laid out in detail on my blog. I didn't utilize this method for years and lost out on tons of free flights. And I say how to get free flights, which is the call to action. Then I have a link, to my blog. Now, and I have the exact same mission and objective as the Chase credit card. So by a show of hands now, would you put in the question box, number one, if you would click on the Chase, or number two, if you would click on this, if you saw it in the timeline? Everyone says 222. Ricky says none. Okay. Okay. One person. So it's like pretty much there, like 98% of you are saying number two. And now I want to explain to you why this is so powerful, right? So from here, I send them to a blog post, right? So on this blog post, I explain to them how this works, because a lot of people don't even know what 50,000 miles means. And so, but what it means is an informative blog post. So I'm from Chicago. And so here you can see Chicago to San Juan is about 35,000 miles round trip, right? And you have to pay about $11 in taxes. And the thing is, for this credit card, I actually have this credit card myself personally. And after you spend your first dollar, you get these miles. And then plus, you also get like first class check-in, you get a bag checked in for free. All of these amazing benefits. And so people are like, what? Oh my God, this is, and then each dollar that you spend on the card, you get a mile. So all of these amazing benefits. And so especially if you're into travel and you're like, sign me up, this is amazing. See, and this is the difference between doing an educational post versus saying sign up for a credit card. And most people don't even know what 50,000 miles are. You can literally go to Europe for like, yes, about 50,000 miles, like round trip or so. Or you can do 2 trips within the United States, or you can go to Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. And so that's what I do. We go from a Facebook ad to a blog post, right? And then at the bottom of that blog post, we put a link to the credit card offer, right? And I want to share with you now how all the money is generated, right? So don't be lazy and it will pay off. So if you create content for your audiences, it does very well. And then also, like how-to information does extremely well. So you guys might have seen John's video, right? Where he was talking about how to spot the mistakes in an ad, right? So versus just saying, hey, come buy my course or do that, he wanted to help you. He wants to give value, whether you buy anything from him or not, right? Are you understanding like the difference? And it's so easy out here because most people are lazy, right? And so let me show you an example. So being helpful pays off big time. And one of the most profitable ways to make money with affiliate offers, and if you don't understand what affiliate is, all that is, so for example, if you have Amazon, and then Amazon, say you have a blog all about televisions, you have a blog all about televisions, and then Amazon says, hey, if you can help us sell a TV, we're going to give you a special link, we'll pay you a commission. So you would be an affiliate of Amazon. Or if you had cooking pots, right? You have a cooking website and they're like, hey, put cooking pots on our website. And then if someone clicks that link and buys a cooking pot after reading your blog, Amazon will pay you a commission. So, then Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they also do the same thing. And you can become affiliates of, of their credit cards. And credit cards are some of the most profitable affiliate programs out. And they pay as much as $300 for a single person signing up for a credit card. Specifically, like, the travel cards and American Express. And then some of the lower ones pay about like maybe $75, right? So here's how it works. So you have this big company like MasterCard, and they want to push more credit cards. You know, they're spending millions of dollars on advertising, on TV, radio, magazines. But they're like, hey, if you can bring us a customer, we will pay you $125 for each new card member that you can bring us, right? And the thing is, we go over so many different examples of affiliate programs that you can use, because this is just one of many. And I do many other affiliate programs. And so let's take a look here, right? So here you can see in the numbers, the click-through rate for this was 21%. So that means 1 out of 5 people that were seeing this ad were clicking on it. Now for that other ad, you know, with like the Chase credit card, they would probably see maybe half of 1%, right? About half of 1%. So that means 200 people have to, you know, see that in the timeline before they click it. Like 200 people versus 5, as you can see here with the 20% click-through. And 20% is extremely good, right? I've been doing this for a while, but it's not uncommon when we see a lot of our students having 4 and 5%. When Facebook says, if you get 1%, that is good, right? And so here's the kicker. We're paying 4 cents for a website click, right? 4 cents. It's not bad at all. And so I want to share with you how these numbers break down. So MasterCard has a commission of $125, right? $125 is what they pay for each person that you can get to sign up. And now if I'm paying 4 cents per website click, so here's the kicker. So that you know, the other example with if they're having 200, they would probably be paying about $2 or even sometimes $3 for a click versus 4 cents. And that's how much of a difference it is. Ridiculous, like hundreds of times more expensive. And that's how Facebook works. They reward you for having the higher click-through rate and providing better content. Because at the end of the day, if you have those numbers, you're basically telling Facebook, you're showing the audience what they want to see versus what they don't want to see. And they reward you in very big ways. Now, let's just say on a high end, it takes 100 clicks to make a 1 sale, right? A 1 conversion, 1 person to sign up for the card. But it's really like 1 out of 20. I'm going to say, so let's just do safe numbers. 1 out of 100 people. And the thing is, I target people who are like fans of Expedia, fans of Orbitz, TripAdvisor. So I already know that they're into traveling, right? And so now let's say your ad spend, right? So 4 cents times 100 people is $4. So $4 to make a $125 sale. That's not bad. But you might be saying, I want to scale up, right? So now let's just say you want to do 5 sales in a day, right? 5 conversions. So spending $20, and then that would equal $625. $625, right? If you're doing 5 sales. But that's not all profit. Now you'd have to minus the $20 ad spend, right? So you've made $625 minus $20, and then so $605 profit per day. You know, how crazy is that? In one day, from one simple offer, $605. In a week, that's like $4,200. In 1 month, close, you know, a little over 16 grand. And then in 1 year, with just one single offer, you know, you can do 200 grand with a single offer. And like numbers will fluctuate over time if certain audiences have seen it. But this is like stuff that you can see. And I actually do stuff like this. I was just sharing with John, I was doing another offer the other day, Credit Sesame, and we're cranking that out, doing more than 16 grand a month. And so it's possible. And this is just one thing, one small example. Like, is that making sense to you guys? Give me a number 8 if that's like making sense to you in the comments. Everyone's typing like 28. Okay, awesome. Everyone. Okay, it does, dude. Tim. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that you've got, you know, so much value from that. And then at the end, like, I know because John has so much more to share. I just wanted to share I could go on and on with examples, like, because this is what I do, like, literally day in, day out. I'm like the guy behind the scenes, but I want to bring John back out, and I'm glad that you've got some value. And if we have time at the end, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, and maybe even do another example. So, John, you want to come back out, brother?
Awesome, man. That was absolutely fantastic. Let me go ahead and just take the screen back again then. Would you guys do me a favor in the questions box? Just give me a number 1 if you can see my screen again. You guys can help me out here. Okay, 111. Okay, perfect. Awesome. That was fantastic, dude. I love that example every single time you give it. And Jubril was spot on when he said he does so much more stuff behind the scenes too. That's one example. And I'm hoping that I can give you some more examples here, because I'm going to delve a bit deeper into my specific campaigns, because Jubril does a whole host of different stuff. I do a whole host of different stuff. And Jubril is the one that trained me on this Facebook stuff. And so I thought, man, I should show you guys what's working with my campaigns. I think that'd be super cool. So that's what I'm going to dive into right now. Okay. So again, for those of you who maybe have joined a little bit late, couple of things. One, sorry about the reflection in my glasses. If you're seeing that, long story, but this pair of glasses doesn't have anti-glare on them. So we're gonna have to deal with that. The second thing is, if you've just joined, these are the kind of numbers that I'm personally doing with my ads. I mean, we're doing up to 11,000 in a single day. We've done $1.2 million as a result of our Facebook ads. And I want to delve into some of the results that's come from that, some of the things that we have learned in that time. Okay. So the results, the main 2 things that we have been executing on Facebook that are working very, very well. Number 1 is a video ad. Okay. And number 2 is what we call a story ad. And we're going to delve into what those ads actually are in just a moment. But the results is this. Look, we've got 1.2 million views on this video here, 1.8 million views in the video in the middle. And you've got 137,000 people reached with a simple image and a bit of text. Okay. And we're generating millions of dollars in the process. Okay. Normally, to get 2 million views on a video, you've got to be one of these big companies like Coca-Cola doing these viral campaigns that they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce. Nope, just little old me in my home office, with just a simple camera. So I'm going to break some of this stuff down for you, and I think it's going to make a lot of sense. And what's really important that you understand is that we started small. Okay, you don't just get to these huge numbers. And I don't want you to even get scared off by these huge numbers. You hear me talking about putting $30,000 into Facebook. You don't do that on day 1, okay? You don't do that on day 1. You start by putting $5 into Facebook. Test an ad. Did that one work? Yes, no, okay, let's build on that. Let's start working that. Let's ditch what didn't work and scale what did, and then you move forward. And then you can start putting bigger numbers into Facebook once you know it's a proven process, okay? So don't get scared off from the big numbers, because we start very small. Very important you understand that. So 3 things you need to know before getting started with Facebook ads. Number 1, it's actually very inexpensive. You can get started with quite a small budget. Okay. We actually suggest inside of our training program that you get started with $6 per day testing an ad. Okay. So relatively inexpensive. Sometimes you can test with as little as $3 to test if you've got a winning ad or not. Okay. It's very simple. Once you know the process, okay, then it actually becomes very simple. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. And finally, it's fun. When you get to a place where you have a skill set to put a $1 into Facebook and get $2 back out as a result, man, I'm telling you, that's fun. It's like an ATM that you always win. It's like an arcade game you always win. Okay, so here's the 2 types of ads that have worked best for us. The first one, and this one here you're seeing on the screen, is actually a video. It doesn't look like a video because you can't see the play button, but just trust me, it's a video. Okay, video with a bit of text, and that was our ad, and it worked very, very well. The next is something we call a story ad. Okay, a story ad is something that Jubril mentioned just a moment ago in his section. And a story ad is this, what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's a lot of text, okay? It's a lot of text with an image, and you can see at the very end here, we've got a link, okay? So these are the 2 types of ads that literally outperform everything else that we run on Facebook, okay? Now, there are a few exceptions to the rules that I'm about to give you and the things I'm about to teach you right now. There are a few exceptions to this. One of them would be e-commerce, okay? We have a bunch of e-commerce students inside of our course, but if you're just selling a fidget spinner, right? If you're just selling a chair, or if you're just selling a teddy bear, right? Well, you don't need to, go through a whole big video, and you don't need to write this much text to sell a little, toy, okay? So there are some exceptions to it. But for most of you, the businesses you're building, local business owners, right? Coaches, consultants, social media managers, okay, info product sellers, if you in the fitness space, if you teach dog training, if you're a specialist in something, if you want to do affiliate marketing, internet marketing, network marketing, any of those that I've just listed, and many, many more, these 2 ads are going to be your golden goose, right? First is video, second is story ads. So let's delve into them a little bit deeper, okay? The reason why these work so well is Jubril started to touch on this, okay? And this is where I want you guys to be taking notes, because this stuff is just absolutely nuts, and it's going to change the way you market your business, okay? Most people teach with Facebook ads that it's all about just slapping an ad together, okay? Just pick an image that looks nice, write a bit of text, okay? Run that on Facebook, and then the conversion process happens on your website. That's what people will tell you, that you just run a Facebook ad, any old Facebook ad, just get those clicks from Facebook, get them to click to your website, and then rely on your website to convert the sales, okay? Doesn't work like that, right? The way that Facebook works the best is the way that we teach it. It's providing some value on the Facebook platform before you ever even ask them to come to your website, okay? So the reason why we use video is because they're scrolling their news feed, and instead of seeing an image of an ad and just, oh yeah, may as well click on that, and then, no, I didn't like it, and they leave again, I would rather keep them on Facebook a little bit longer, have them consume some content from me first, start to know me, like me, trust me. Or if you are promoting your brand or your company or your product, then get to know your product, get to know your service, get to know, you know, what you're about, what your brand is about first on Facebook, so that now they're not just clicking to see what you're about, but now they've watched your video, they've consumed something of what you're about, they've learned something about you, you know, they've actually, you know, got some value from you. Now they're clicking because they want to take action, right? Are you seeing the difference? If you put a video together, if you take the time to put a video together, they're not just impulsively clicking an ad and then going to your website, not really knowing what to expect. Now they've seen a video of you on Facebook, they're starting to get some value from that video and all that good stuff. And now they come into your website because they go, you know what, that video is actually pretty darn cool. I like that. I'm going to click to see what else they've got for me. So now they are clicking with an intention to take action, not just clicking just to, well, let's just see what that ad was about. Is that making sense? So here's the second thing that you can do. Maybe you don't want to be doing videos. Well, you can be doing this story ad version, okay? So with a story ad, you know, it's pretty much the same thing as like with the video. You're preparing a bit of content. You're going to teach a couple things in your video, or you're going to give them some information about what you're about. So you can just do that in written form, okay? In a, you know, in the kind of ad that you're seeing here with just a very, very simple image, okay? And again, if someone is willing to take the time to read this whole thing, then click that link over here, then they are already in a mindset now of actually taking action. They're not just clicking impulsively. So before I move on and delve into this deeper, let me know if this is making sense and this is actually, you're learning something. Is this helpful? Give me a yes in the questions box if this is actually making sense to you and this is helpful. Okay, perfect. Seeing yes, yes, yes. Okay, left says this is really helpful. Okay, awesome. Well, we're just getting warmed up. Okay, we're just getting started. So check this out. Let's start with video. The biggest tips I can give you for your videos, if you want to run them as Facebook ads, is number one, you do not need fancy videos. Okay, don't fall for the trap that you have to have this fancy gear and nice. I mean, look at me. I'm doing this webinar for you and I'm in my home office with terrible lighting and reflective glasses. Okay, it's more about the content that I'm getting across to you. Hopefully, we're doing a good job at delivering some great content for you. Okay, so it's more about the content than it is the lighting. So making sense? So you don't need the fancy videos. Okay, just focus on the value and or providing some curiosity in your video as to, and who is this person? I'm really enjoying this video. I'm really enjoying what they're putting out there. Okay, and focus on providing value. Okay, and giving a bit of content rather than just, you know, getting that click as quickly as possible. Okay, so let me ask you a question. How many of you say me, M-E, on the questions box if you don't want to shoot video? Okay, for whatever reason, you're just not up for shooting video. You'd rather drive traffic and visitors in other ways. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. I would just love to know how many people we have on here that just would not want to do video. Okay, Don says too ugly. I'm sure you're not. Jay says too shy. Everyone's saying me, me, me. Okay, we got a bunch of you that wouldn't want to. Okay, well, for you guys, this is your answer. Okay, it's the story ad I talked about. And even for those of you that are happy doing videos, we often use a story ad because it sometimes outperforms our videos. Okay, here's the thinking behind this. This is what your ad would look like on a Facebook timeline of someone that you're targeting. Okay, nice image that grabs some attention, nothing crazy. It's just me in a pink shirt in, you know, in Miami. Okay, so it's nothing too exciting. A bit of copy that grabs their attention and they start reading and it's interesting. okay? And I'm writing this in such a way because I know who I'm targeting with my Facebook ad. And what they're going to do is they're going to click this button here that says continue reading, okay? If they do that, they've taken that first step and said, okay, I want to learn more about what's going on here. So they click continue reading. Now this whole story opens up, okay? And so this person is going to read through this. Now you might be thinking, John, no one's going to read through that on Facebook, okay? Well, think again, because that's what I told Jubril when he first taught me this. And I said, dude, get out of here. My videos are going to outperform this thing. But trust me, I was proven wrong by Jubril time and time again. People will read this if you target people the right way. And if they read this simple story, just talking about you and how your business came about and, you know, and why you created this product or why you started recommending that product or whatever it is that you're promoting, write about it in a story, okay? By the time someone reads all of this and clicks this button, they are ready to take that action. And that's why we get such a high click-through rate. That's why we get such a low cost per lead. And that's why we're just making millions of dollars collectively on Facebook, because we spend a bit more time providing content and providing value, okay? That's the number one key to why we do so well on Facebook and why we crush our competition in any industry that we go into, is because we're willing to put that little bit of extra time into putting some good content together that's going to outperform everything else, okay? A bit like that Chase credit card example that Jubril gave you, okay? So that's the number one rule. Then the second thing I want to teach you is why your Facebook ads didn't work if you've tried them in the past, and I'm going to give you the solution right now in this video. Check this out. Most people will do this. Now, some of you may have seen this example already. Some of you haven't. If you have, it's going to be a good refresher for you. So this is typically what someone will do when they get excited and start setting up a Facebook ad, okay? They put an image together, they get their text, they've created their ad, and this image here is going to represent our Facebook ad. So then they say, right, well, I need to tell Facebook who I want to see this ad, okay? So then they go into Facebook, they set up the ad, okay? And they start, you know, telling Facebook what audiences they want to see. You know, they want to target for this ad. So let's say your website or what you're promoting is all about cooking, okay? And you've got an ad all about cooking. So you're going to say to Facebook, right, well, I want you to show my ad to anyone who's interested in Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver, BuzzFeed Food, Good Food, Food Channel, Food Network, whatever those things are called. All these different audiences that would make sense, okay? And what happens? You run the ad, results come back, it didn't make you money, okay? You put more money into Facebook than you got back out. A typical result for most people that give Facebook a go, okay, is that the results come back and you don't make any sales, you know, or it just doesn't give you a positive return on investment, okay? Now, here's the thing. There was actually a winner in there, but you missed it because of, I don't want to say laziness, it's just not knowing this stuff. And I'm about to teach it to you right now. What you should have done is you sort of duplicated the exact same ad multiple times and then shown each duplication to one audience. In fact, I think it's going this way, isn't it? So each duplication to, you know, to a different audience, so that we've got one duplication of the exact same ad going to Gordon Ramsay's fans, another exact duplication going to Jamie Oliver's fans and BBC Food and Food Network and so on and so forth. Excuse me, because now the results are measurable, okay? You couldn't measure the results before. If you lump them all together like this ad right here, well, how on earth do you know what the different audiences and how they interacted with your ad? You can't possibly know. Whereas if you do it like this, you can actually measurably see if one of these audiences or more than one actually responded to your ad. So what you'll find is when you do this, you'll find some interesting information. Audience 1, 2, 3, and 5 did not respond to your ad. They didn't make you money. But for whatever reason, audience 4, they did. You found a winner, okay? Audience 4, you put $1 into advertising and you generated on average about $2 back out as a result for your business. You put 10 in, you get 20 out. You put 100 in, you get 200 back out, and you can scale that puppy, okay? So actually there was a winner in here. There was a winner in the ad that you thought didn't work. There was actually a winner, okay? But you missed it because you weren't able to, or you didn't know this stuff about duplicating your ads and actually testing the different audiences, okay? And measuring the results. People don't teach this stuff, and it's why people fail on Facebook. If you take nothing else away from this Facebook presentation right here, take that, please, because that will be the golden, I've already used the golden goose. That will be the golden ticket for you, okay? So now you can leave with a golden goose and a golden ticket, right? You're doing well on this webinar. So you can do the same thing with male and female, right? You run your ad and maybe the results come back and males responded better to your ad than females. Okay, same with age groups, right? You might learn that actually out of all the different age groups, 25 to 35, they responded well and we made money, and all the other age groups we didn't. Well, then we'll turn all of those other age groups off and we will only scale to the 25 and 35s, right? So like I said, you test small. You test this stuff here with a small amount of money. You find the winners with some testing with a few dollars, the cost of a few Starbucks, and you do some testing. Then you find a winner, and boom, then you scale it, and you only start throwing more money at Facebook when you know you've got a winner. Is that making sense? Okay. So now you found a winner. In this very simple example, you know the audience for who are male between 25 and 35, they responded best to your ad. Okay. I'm just going to check that you guys are going to. Okay, cool. All right. So same thing with your copy of the actual ad itself. Okay. So you can split test the image that you're using. You can split test the headline. So you could keep the exact same ad the same. You could keep the exact same video, exact same targeting, but just change the headline. Okay. So that now you've got the same ad with headline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Results come back. Headline 2 performed best. So we'll turn all the others off and we'll keep headline 2. Okay. This is when it gets fun. You literally start creating money. You send Facebook 1, they give you 2 or 3 back as a result, of you selling your products and services. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many times would you do that? Okay. If you had the ability to put $1 into advertising and generate $2 or $3 back on average for that $1 spend, how many times would you do that? Let me know in the questions box. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to see, but we see some funny answers sometimes when I ask that question. Chris says constantly. Monica says forever. Jason says forever. Richard says all day, every day. Davida says 99999. Alba says 5. Alba, so you do that 5 times. Okay, I'd probably do it a little bit more than 5. Okay, awesome. Bunch of you saying loads, as much as I can, all that good stuff. Okay, so listen, imagine you spend a couple of weeks testing ads, find the winners and scale them up. Now you have a near automated traffic machine pumping profitable traffic for you every single day into your business. Now I want to make you a promise. Right now at this point, I want you to write this down. Okay, you can probably paraphrase what I'm about to say in your notes. The reason why most other people who have tried Facebook advertising in the past and haven't made it work, the reason why it hasn't worked for them, and the reason why 99% of people who try Facebook ads do not get results and often lose money, okay, is because they were not willing to take that bit of time and actually test different headlines, test the different ads, test the different audiences. Okay, what we need to do is spend a couple of weeks. Okay, we teach this inside of our training program. We teach the concept of a couple of weeks testing, just see what the numbers are doing, see what your audience is doing. When you find a winner, then boom, you can scale it up. Okay, so you spend a few dollars testing, okay, and then you only scale the winners. And this is why most people don't get results. In fact, I'm just curious. Okay, you can go ahead and interact with me here. Give me a yes in the questions box if you have ever tried a Facebook ad before and it hasn't worked, and that's why you are here on this call, is because you want to learn how to correct the mistake that seemed to happen, or you wanted to correct the fact that you were trying Facebook and it wasn't working. And give me a no, N-O, give me a no if you have never tried Facebook before and you're on this webinar because it just sounded interesting and because you want to start giving Facebook a go. Or you've got to that point now where actually, okay, I know Facebook is important. I need to be on there. I would like to finally start doing some stuff with Facebook. So let me have a look here at the contrast. So I say yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. Okay, I see a few no's too. That's very interesting. So most of you are saying yes, that you have run ads before and it hasn't worked. And some of you are saying no. Okay, it's just very helpful for me just as I go through this training, knowing how to best cater it for you to have you get the best out of it. Okay, so that's how we started getting to these numbers. These big numbers is because we started small and we started scaling up. Okay, and we get to these kind of crazy numbers. We taught this to one of our students called Tom Render, and we actually brought him up on stage at one of our events. And it started with doing a Q&A, and he was in the audience and he put his hand up and we got a mic to him and he said, "You guys gave me a massive problem." And me and Jubril were thinking, oh gosh, what's he going to say? He's going to say something embarrassing. And he said, we went from 1 sale a month, okay, to £1,000 a week, and we literally had to shut off our ads because we were overloaded with orders. And we were like, oh man, that's the coolest story ever. Come up on stage, and we had him share it from stage, and we filmed the process. And he's just giving us an update now, and he said ads are back on now and returning 300 to 400% ROI. Okay, and this was just with this idea of duplicating your ads and testing and tweaking. So it's worth doing. Okay, very much worth doing. So let's get into secret number 3. You guys still there? Are you still awake? You still ready for some more? I want to talk about the hidden treasures behind Facebook ads that's been responsible for multiple 6 figures in additional income for me for free. Okay, now I know that sounds crazy because we're talking about Facebook advertising, which obviously costs money. So what I'm going to be going over here in secret number 3 is I'm going to show you the ways that I make additional income, okay, as a result of my ads that are not trackable in your ad account, okay, and they're not visible unless you actually know what you're looking for. So I'm going to break them down for you. There's 4 hidden treasures that you're going to want to write down, okay? Get your pen to paper and write this down. Number 1, likes on your page. Number 2, shares. Number 3, private messages. And number 4, the long game, okay? You got 2 seconds to write that down because we're going to start moving through this now. Okay, here we go. First is likes on your page. This is what an ad looks like, or an example of one, when you start running it on Facebook, okay? This was an ad that we started running for one of our YouTube training programs, okay? And you can see that the name of my Facebook page is my name, Jon Penberthy. If this was you, it might be your brand name, your company name, or your name, or whatever else, your website's name. But when you run an ad, it says sponsored, and it has the link to the page that is running that ad. You've most likely seen it yourself. So what ends up happening, and people don't realize this, is they focus so much on the results of the ad itself that they forget that a huge number of people will click on the name of the page that the ad is coming from and will check out that page, okay? So I now have a page with, at the time of recording this, it's probably much more by the time you're seeing this, nearly 37,000 people following this page, okay? 37,000 people following this page. Every single one of them has come as a result of running my Facebook ads, okay? I've done nothing else. Nothing else have I done. And 37,000 people who have seen my ads running on Facebook, they've decided that, you know what, I actually want to check out his Facebook page. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit like and follow him and get updated with that stuff too. So there's 37,000 people now that I can go ahead and write something on my page. I can put some more content out. I can make an offer. I can put an ad on my page. I can redirect them to my website. I can communicate with them. I can do all sorts of things. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you think that you could make a few extra sales of your product with 37,000 people that you can follow up with absolutely for free? Okay. Yeah, I see a bunch of yeses coming in. Of course you could. So this is another way what I have literally made from this 37,000 people, providing content, following up with them, building a relationship with them. I've made an additional hundreds of thousands of dollars just as a result of having these likes on this page and building an audience and building an asset on Facebook. And that's happened no other way than people just liking the page from ads. How cool is that? Okay, that's the first one. Second one is shares. This one is literally going to blow your socks off. Okay, so you might want to grab onto your socks right now in this moment. Hold on to them tight because they're going to try and escape you. Because the shares is one of the most overlooked forms of, well, what I call a hidden treasure on Facebook. Okay, and this is another reason why we spend so much time putting content and value into our ads. Because when have you ever heard of an advertisement being shared? Okay, you don't see an ad for you know, a Hoover, okay, and you don't see it on TV and see a Hoover and immediately pick up the phone and call your friend and say, hey, I just saw an ad for a Hoover, you need to go check it out, I'm going to try and find it online, I'm going to link you. No, you don't do that. But for some reason, look at this, we've had on one of those videos over 8,715 shares. 8,000 real people, okay, real people who have seen my ad and they've seen enough value in the ad that they've said, I'm going to share this with all of my friends, okay? This other one got 146 shares and 568. So I wanted to show you 3 examples. Check this out. The average person on Facebook, according to Zuckerberg, okay, have 200 friends. 200 friends. So when they share your piece of content, that's being seen by over 200 people. Okay, so the 146 shares gets me in front of a potential 29,200 free views. The ad that got 568 shares, that gets me in front of a potential 113,600 free visitors. And the big daddy, right, the ad that got 8,715 shares, one of our ads, got me in front of a potential, listen to this, 1.743 million potential viewers for free. I didn't pay for that advertising. I just put a bit of extra time into providing value and content to the people that I was targeting on Facebook, and they saw enough interest to share that. And now I've got thousands, in some cases, thousands of people sharing my content across Facebook, and it's not content, it's an ad, okay? And I'm getting all that traffic coming to my website, okay? Is that just nuts? Am I just preaching to myself? Because, I mean, this stuff just gets me fired up, right? Number 3, private messages. So once people land on your Facebook page, they also have the ability to click up here and leave your message, or it might be down here, okay? Facebook always moving this stuff around, but they can send you a message. Now, I get messages on that page daily. I took a screenshot earlier on today. You can see how many people have left me a message, and I could have scrolled, and this just goes on for days. So I get messages from people in my inbox, and I get messages like this. Look, getting your course, John, very excited. Hi, John, hoping you have any webinars coming up. You know, someone literally asked me to put them on my mailing list, okay? This person over here said, hey, John, can you send me the direct link to your course? Yes, I know you have a free video series, but I'm ready to buy. So these are messages that you would have missed if you weren't checking your private messages. So it's very, very important that you are constantly checking those private messages, because there are customers and there are sales to be utilized inside of those private messages. And the 4th thing is called the long game, okay? Very simply, here's an illustration. Let's say you put $1,000 into Facebook ads and you return 1,000 leads in return, okay? Most advertisers will, you know, that goes into your funnel, if you want to call it a funnel, or go to your website. And those people, you know, most people teach you just got to work as hard as you can to try and convert some sales as quickly as possible and try and generate, you know, 1,000 to break even, or generate $2,000 in return to get some money back, okay, make some profit. And the problem there is that you are you're gonna kill the engagement that you have with your audience because you're so desperate for sales. Whereas what I do is I spend more time providing more value, providing more content, going overload on this stuff, so that later on down the line, I've built such a good relationship with them that later on, I you know, my funnel and my process will spit out $5,000 because I was patient enough to wait a bit longer. Here's another way to illustrate this, okay? We've got a graph, income over the lifetime of a lead in this case. So the red line will illustrate someone who's building their business, you know, just on scarcity, and building their business on, you know, trying to get as many sales as they possibly can to recoup their ad spend as quickly as possible. And what you'll find is, yes, you might have a little spike initially, but you are going to completely, you know, your numbers are going to drop off. Your leads are going to be unengaged. Your prospects don't want to listen to you. Your visitors are not coming back to your website because they didn't feel like they got much value from that. And so you made a little bit of money, but then it burned, okay? Whereas the green line represents how myself, Jubril, and our coach, Chris, we build our Facebook ad campaigns, okay? We focus on the long game, okay? We maybe sacrifice even just a little bit of revenue on the front end to maintain that relationship, give good brand awareness, and get them to really enjoy the content we're putting out there. And we have got a lead, and we have got a visitor and a customer and a fan for life. I've still got people on my email list that joined me years ago, and they still buy products from me based on my recommendations today, okay? Years ago. It's because I focus on providing value first before I ever even ask for a sale, okay? And that's the long game, right? So here's what we've covered so far. Secret number 1, behind the curtains of a Facebook ad campaign that's returning $625 for every $20 spent. Secret number 2, the results after spending $393,000 on Facebook ads in the past 16 months. And I showed you the 2 ads that are working the best. And I showed you our trick about duplication. And secret number 3, I just showed you the hidden treasures behind Facebook ads. It's been responsible for multiple 6 figures in additional income for me for free. And hopefully even just the shares that I mentioned there got you excited. Let me know, has that been helpful? Have you guys enjoyed that? Go ahead and give me a yes in the questions box. A big yes if you want to, if that's been helpful. Rita, oh no, Richard, sorry, says, wow. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Wayne says, yeah, in capital letters. Yes, 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 very much, very much. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome. Comments are flooding in. That's super encouraging for me and Jubril. So let me ask you a question, okay? Because we're just super excited about something. Check this out. Let me pull up this slide here. Let me ask you a question. Myself and Jubril, we are super excited about something that we're launching. We do have a Facebook advertising training program, okay? And we do have one, and I would love the opportunity to tell you about it right now. I almost get excited again and drop my headphones. I'd love the opportunity to tell you about it, let you know what's going on, and how you can actually work with me and Jubril and have us help you build your Facebook campaigns and make sure they're profitable and getting results. So give me a number 1 in the questions box if you're okay with me taking just a few minutes right now and letting you know how me and Jubril and our coach Chris can actually make sure you're getting results with Facebook and work with you. I'm just curious. I don't want to just assume that that's okay. Okay, I see a bunch of ones going in. Justin says 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, awesome. I see loads of ones coming in. Okay, I appreciate it. Awesome, good stuff. I don't want to assume that that's okay. I want to make sure you get value out of hearing about that. Okay, so we've got a training program.